All right, so good morning from Monee, Illinois. It's finally cold. Um, a few weeks ago, rolling through Illinois with my trainer, even in like September, Illinois was definitely the coldest state I've been to, and now it's cold. I think it was like 32 degrees, maybe 23. It's not that bad. My teammate Iman's already complaining, and I'm like, dude, it's not even snowing yet. What are you talking about? So, but anyway, it's been an interesting week or so. We've done a few runs. We've screwed up a few runs. The last two have been going pretty well. We're kind of figuring it out and kind of, sanding the stone. So, last time I left you, we were in Greer, South Carolina at the terminal. So we did take a trip from West Columbia, South Carolina to Avenel, New Jersey, which was all good and fine, and we were actually pretty stoked. We got to see a little bit of the New York skyline, and so all the checklist stuff I was talking about, seeing the New York skyline is always one of them. And then after that, we went to North Bergen, New Jersey, and then we were supposed to go to Evansville, Indiana. So I was driving, and we pretty much were almost to West Virginia, going through Pennsylvania, exit like 17, and I get this like emergency message, like emergency T call. You need to go up to this this TA, Travel Center of America, and do a T call with another truck driver. T calls, for those who don't know, it's you take it A to B, someone else takes it B to C, or vice versa. So apparently this guy was almost out of hours. It was an expedited load that had to be in Connecticut at like 3 a.m. and so we ended up getting there. And from what my trainer taught me is whenever you do a T call, if you're the one giving it to someone else, you got to scale the load so the next guy knows the weight he's getting. So we could already tell this load was 43,000 pounds, so that's pretty steep. So I put in the message to Swift, like, hey, can you make sure that this guy has a scale ticket? And they didn't really respond, and so then I write back, please respond, and someone writes me, respond to what? And it's like, if you have a little common sense, if someone says please respond, you just check the message before, because they're all archived. So I wrote back like, can't you read the message from before? And then they wrote something, you don't need to be rude about it. And it's like, I'm being rude because I'm asking you to, I wasn't asking you anything. I just said, can you please read the previous message? I'm driving, I don't want to type it again. So they are trying to make me feel like I did something wrong, which wasn't cool. And then they wrote me that, oh, that driver's at a different terminal and you'll have to call that terminal in order to get it verified that they'll have a certificate for the scale. And it's like, what are you talking about? I'm the one driving, you're the one in an office. Shouldn't you, I didn't say any of this, but shouldn't you be the one to do this for safety of all things? So anyway, I let it go. It was really awesome driving through Pennsylvania. It's probably my second favorite state, second to Tennessee at this point. Because fall's coming, the leaves are turning. It's pretty vast and beautiful, hillsides and stuff. So anyway, we get there. We end up meeting up with the other Swift driver. We asked him if he has a scale ticket, and he says, no, I didn't get a scale ticket because I've done this long enough where I know what I'm looking for. And it's like, all right, dude. So if I could give an example, we finally get it scaled. This is what a scale ticket looks like. You see where it says 30,000 and 36,000? That's what you call illegal. It's got to be 34 at the most on each axle. So we ran into a bit of a problem because trucker lingo crap. You have to have a certain feet on your Kingpin. The Kingpin, which is where the tractor attaches to the trailer. California is the strictest, 40 feet. That way when you take turns, you don't hit a curb. Connecticut and New York, which we were about to go through, was 43, but the current state we were in was 41. So the only way we could get this to legally balance out, which took us 2 more scales, the second one, 31, 35, that's still no good. So we finally get it done, 32 and 33, that's good, but guess what? Our Kingpin was illegal. So we call Swift and say, what really is going on here? You guys tell us there's an emergency T call, and we get there and find out the load is illegal and saying that the driver who had it is running out of hours. So then Ian and I started thinking maybe they're not running out of hours, maybe, just maybe, I shouldn't do that. Maybe, just maybe, he knew it was illegal and he didn't want to take it. So hey, let's give it to the new guys and see if they'll risk it. I ended up calling Swift, talking to the guy, saying, hey, we got an illegal load. The only way we can get it out of here is illegally. And he's like, I was like, are you telling us to take this load illegally? He's like, well, I can't tell you to take the load illegally. And it's like, he's like, well, if you don't want it, you can deny it, and then you can wait for another load, and then someone else will come get it. And it's like, someone's going to take it out of here illegally. So Ivan and I, we chanced it, and all the way through Pennsylvania, all the scale houses were closed. I mean, scale houses, they do the weight. I don't know if they necessarily even look at the Kingpin distance of the tires. But there's a little bit of drama. There's a little bit of drama, and we felt a little bit manipulated, but we got it all done. It was all good and fine. And so anyway, jeez, buddy. So anyway, as I'm turning around to go to that T-call, I finally got my first one of these from a little kid, and I thought it was funny because I always said if I ever get that, I'm gonna screw with them because it's a highway horn. You're not supposed to use it in a city. And so the kid was going like that. I was going over a little bridge and he did that. So I kind of grabbed this and held the city horn, which is a little meet instead of the honk honk. And I just went like meet and the kid looked so disappointed. It was really funny. But anyway, so there's my checklist. I finally got one of those, old school. So another issue was the fact that we didn't know how we were going to get paid, because if we were going here to Indiana and stopped here and then told us to cut up 140 miles up, they initially wanted to pay us here to here, not here to here to here. And so we had to call our driver leader, and they ended up figuring it out, and they did pay us. I think they shorted us like 20 miles, but they always skim something off the top because they use the Rand McNally mileage guide and all this crap. And so it's one of the parts of truck driving. You just got to kind of eat it. So, but anyway, so we get to Connecticut at night. We get everything done. The load's good to go. And then I was going to have Iman drive back to New Jersey, but I decided to do it because he needed a full day for the next day. So I drove from Connecticut through New York into New Jersey. Excuse me, I just had Petro. I just killed it. Already having been tired from my whole shift, and the sun is starting to blaze. But I made it. You know, it was really slow. The dashboard cam, I think I mentioned I bought. I recorded the whole thing. It's a POS. It's a piece of crap. I'm gonna return it. That was another thing. You can return it, but you gotta get store credit. It's like, all right, I'll do store credit and spread it out over time. And it's like, no, you gotta get store credit, spend it now. So when I found that out, I was a few days before any of that. I already had a headache. I wasn't in the mood to deal with it. So now I'm kind of figuring out what I could buy. What I think I'm going to do is take my old iPhone, get a dashboard mount my old one on there whenever I want to use it as a dashboard cam, and have, because this phone's like out of memory. I got to delete stuff, transfer stuff. So that'll be my dashboard, my old iPhone 4. So anyway, so it was really cool to see more New York, and actually go through New York and going through the Bronx and the ghetto, and you don't get to see too much of the vast city, but you know, it's Empire State Building, the Freedom Tower, and all that good stuff. So that was cool. And then our Qualcomm, you know, cut out a couple of times going through New Jersey, and you know, you got to be careful driving through those areas, not to get on a parkway or get a low clearance or all that stuff. So fast forward a little bit, we're supposed to get to Texas from New Jersey area, something like that. And we were supposed to cut over right north of New Orleans, and Iman missed the turn because our Qualcomm directions cut out the satellite. So right after it happened, we're like, screw it, let's just do it. So we went for it, and we actually got through into New Orleans fine, and we saw the skyline, and it was all good and cool, and we were pretty stoked. And then I was taking a 15-second Instagram video, and 6 seconds in, it freaking cut out because my memory was full, and it was like cascading over a bridge, the whole city view, and I was pretty pissed. Blah, 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 whatever. So we finally are heading out of New Orleans, and guess what happens? A freaking accident. I guess a dump truck ran a car off the road. The dump truck ran. They brought in like a chopper to like chase him down. Iman saw it all, or like, you know, witnessed a bit of it. I was pretty much asleep. But so we finally get to deliver this load. We were 45 minutes late. We thought we'd be a lot later. Turns out the load seal on our paperwork was handwritten. So the people at freaking Walmart refused it. We had to wait 15 hours to get like another manager to approve it, and we got it all done, and it's good and fine. So a little bit of drama here and there, but we did just have 2 loads in a row. It's perfectly on time, and now we should be going back to California.